Guys, Paperly does not work. You guys think that there's an unlimited amount of leads you can send someone. That's not true. Every customer, every client has a cap in their head. They're not going to share it with you, but when you hit that cap, when you hit that certain amount of leads, they're going to reach out and say, hey, it's time to pause, it's time to cut back, or they're going to come to you and say, hey, we're raising our minimum price, or we don't cover these areas. Guys, I just had a call with a client that I have, a huge client. It's the only deal I have on Paperlead, and I've only had it there because I made the mistake of doing it and they won't switch. Doesn't make sense. And this is a company, I thought even them, I'm like, oh, that's one exception where I can send them unlimited leads. Guys, this is a huge company. And we literally just had the call and they're like, yeah, we can't handle the capacity. Not because they can't run the leads, but because there's so many of them, they're not closing as many as they want to. So guess what? We've hit the threshold. There is a cap. If you think, hey, I'm going to do Paperlead because there's unlimited ceiling, that's bullshit. Because the little guy, Timmy or Jack or whatever his name is, his threshold's about $1,000 a month or $1,500 a month or whatever that is. He's got a threshold. So you're not going to go and scale unlimited. And the other thing that sucks is you're going to spend your time doing it. Every single month, you're going to go back and forth. And the other thing that sucks is in the winter, your income's going to dip. And then in the spring, you're going to think you're freaking making stacks. You're going to think you're going to be walking around like Floyd Mayweather with stacks in your bag. And then in the winter, you're going to have to go cash it in to pay your bills. Paperlead does not freaking work. So I realized this. I'm like, the only way I'm going to scale is through lead gen. The only way I'm going to do lead gen is through flat fee. That decision right there was the decision that changed everything. Because by putting the constraints, hey, I'm going to go and I'm going to get to $100,000 a month, but I'm only going to do it with flat fee. I've said this before, but when you set constraints for yourself, your mind starts to think so much differently. You force your mind to work. And in that moment, not only did I say I'm going to do flat fee deals, but I also told myself I'm going to do flat fee deals at this price minimum. And they're going to have a contract. And I said, I'm only going to do these couple niches. And I went super narrow and it was scary because before I was chasing everything and I do all this different stuff and I'm a catch-all. Again, for those of you that think you're off the hook on this because you have one business, you're in the same boat. If you're offering 3, 4, 5 services and you're not making gobs of money, it's because of this. It is because of this and you need to pick. If you have multiple services, you have multiple businesses and you're not giving attention to the one that you should, period. The moment that I was able to start scaling in 2020, right when it started, was the moment that I decided I only have one business. And that business is flat fee lead gen in concrete, tree service, spray foam, duct cleaning. Those are the niches I'm going after. And my price points are this, and I'm only doing 6-month contracts. Period. Go figure. I add the constraints. And in 2020, we end the year. I go to my accountant and we made $1 million. Didn't even know. I paid off $60,000 in debt. I moved into this house. It was an incredible year. Life-changing year. 2019, January, I was ready to throw in the freaking towel, guys. It's no joke. I was getting ready to just walk. I was tired and I picked. And thank freaking goodness that I picked because that was the one thing that allowed me to scale. Because here's the deal. The other person you're competing against, let's call it HomeAdvisor. They have one service. It's pay per lead. They have one thing they're focused on. So they're going to be the best at pay per lead. You're going against another lead generator. They have one service. The person that's beating you, they are focusing on one thing and you're splitting your attention among multiple things. That is the very thing that allowed me to scale.